And welcome back to another episode of Vladtastic. Episode 6 in the works here, and I gotta tell you, today we got some big things planned. We're going to continue working on the front of my base and the inside of my base and just generally the base all the way around, trying to make this thing look a lot nicer, a lot better. And I gotta tell you, after looking at the basalt blocks in 116, which is only a couple weeks away, I can't wait to get my hands on some of it. It's going to make this place pop. We're also going to be building our next shop, a lighthouse. Yes, and in the lighthouse we are going to sell, well, none other than lights. It is a lighthouse after all. So buckle up, strap in, and get ready for a wild ride because we're off. Hello, and here we are at the site that I'm going to be building our lighthouse. Yeah, I took the liberty of building a platform for it already and building the circle that is going to be the shape of the lighthouse. So I'm going to show you the actual walls going up and a little bit of a time lapse here. So let's get cracking. So as you can see, I am building circles on circles here to match the original design I had on the base. Now the thing about circles when you're building them in Minecraft is you got to look at them as being a square. They have 4 sides, and when you move one side, any block on one side, you have to mirror that on the other 3 sides. So as I step in 1 or 2 blocks on each side, I've got to mirror it on the other 3 sides to make the circle symmetrical and uniform the entire way around. In addition to that, I've got to remember exactly where I'm placing my black and my white blocks at the start and the end of each stripe so that I can get that nice swirl going up the tower that I plan on doing. This is somewhat difficult to do freestyle without a plan, without a texture, just trying to eyeball it up. But once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite easy. Now when we're building lighthouses, this one originally I had a rotating beacon on, but I turned it off because of the lag it causes on the server. But there's a number of different ways you can make a lighting source on it. And a couple interesting facts about lighthouses is with the lighting sources, they're always put high enough that they can be seen through the curvature of the earth so that ships can see them at range, but not so high that they're not visible on a line of sight of a ship. Which means that lighthouses that are built on top of hills generally are shorter than lighthouses that are built along the shoreline. That way the lantern can always maintain that optimal height, that optimal level, to where they can be seen from far at sea, but ships can still spot them. And the reason why lighthouses have stripes or swirls or different colors, honestly, in the United States, each one is unique. And that was so that mariners can identify the lighthouse that they're sailing next to. Remember, lighthouses have been around a lot longer than we've had navigational aids such as GPS. So with compass and maps, you might be able to get close to a coastline, but not knowing exactly where along that coastline you was could be very detrimental. So by having a lighthouse there with a unique color, a unique shape, a unique painting, it allowed mariners to know exactly where they were and exactly which port they were by. So I hope you enjoyed this little clip. I hope you enjoyed watching this build here. And I've come to the realization that I should really work from a script. Now that was a grind. It took me about an hour and 40 minutes to build that tower. And that's not even counting the top of it, which I did complete off camera, and I'm about ready to show you. So, who's up to see the lighthouse? Well, let's take a look. I did a little bit of terraforming. Still got a lot of work to do. All it is stone blocks for right now, but we'll take a little glide around here so you can see. Built some stone boulders, I guess you'd call them. Nice little tide pool here. And yeah, I'm happy with how it's coming out so far. And hope you guys enjoyed watching me build it. And here we are back at the front of my base. As you can see, I decided to inlay a black stripe going up the one tower. I didn't touch the other tower yet. Now I'm thinking about doing this black stripe inlay on 3 of the 4 sides. I'm not going to do the side where the arches are. I'm going to leave those stone. But the front sides, the 2 sides, and the back, I'm going to do that. And since it's a 5-block wide and I got the little staircases going up and down to make a nice little fringe around it, I still have 3 blocks in the center. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. I might use the stone stairs to make some kind of a little design, maybe put a sea lantern in center to give it some kind of a light. Or I might just inlay more of these little cutouts that I got here for the armor stands. Just put more armor displays up in front of them. I think that would look cool too. I'm not 100% sure. I'll play with it a little bit before I make a decision. If you've got any ideas or suggestions, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And here we are inside my second tower, the one that I did not put the black trim on. We are going to get ready to start doing that in a little time lapse. But first, we are going to have to clean up inside here. As you can see, this tower is quite tall. It goes up there quite a bit. And it is dark. So I got to light it up in here a little bit. And I've got to level it off so that we have a nice, clean, level foundation. And then I'll work on securing the walls. Now, when I started building this base, I wanted it cut into the mountain. So I wanted to use as much of the natural curvature of the land and just build off of it, build into it, without actually digging it out and flattening it. That original plan, I still want to try to keep as much as possible. But as this base keeps getting bigger and bigger, I find that more of the natural landscaping is going by the wayside. So let's get the lightness up here. And we'll start digging up some of this gravel and getting ready to go to work. So on our creative server, I did a small mock-up of my tower designs, and I did them with 4 different patterns here. Now, I know which one I like the best, and I think I know which one I'm going with. But as you can see, these 4 patterns, let me know which one you like the best. And who knows, maybe I'll change it. And here we are again outside my base. I have decided finally on a pattern for my towers. So I figured we'd capture that in a little time lapse. Let's get working. Alright, with both the towers trimmed out front, I think it's time we move inside. So I'm going to do something with this area where I have my flowers and my cocoa beans for my dies. I want to turn it into a banquet hall. But first we're going to have to flesh out these walls and make this room a legitimate room. Let me show you the area we're working with here. So as you can see, it would be a very nice area, a large area. Everything up here on this platform, these are bottom slabs, so I don't have to worry about mobs spawning up here, but it is kind of dark. What I'm thinking of doing is changing the flooring a little bit, getting rid of course, my cocoa bean pods and these flowers and all this little stuff up here. Redoing the roof, building some kind of a wooden framework structure, maybe a few columns with a big table and some armor stands. Hopefully I can get the heads of everybody on the server. That way I can make a nice big banquet hall in here. We'll see how it goes. Let's get started.
Cut! Stop the cameras! What are you doing? You're supposed to mine blocks only above the hall!
Yeah. Bye! Alright, so we finished raising the roof in here where I'm going to put my banquet hall, and I went a little overboard. I started digging out the rest of the base. I needed to anyway, so I figured, yeah, what the heck, we might as well just keep on going. You can finally see the sun, but now I need to concentrate on putting a roof on this thing. But first, I've got an idea for some landscaping outside. So it's going to require me widening my bridge one more block because it's a 5-wide path, and I've got a 2-wide door. So if I want it centered on my door, I'm either going to have to shrink it down to a 4-wide path or make it a 6-wide, and the wider the better. So let's get to it. And there we have it. The front path and the bridge are finished. Well, the bridge isn't quite finished. I still got a lot more detailing to do around here. I did tear down the towers and the palisade wall. I decided I'm not going to go with the palisade wall. I've got something else in mind. I just didn't like the look of the way it was turning out. And don't worry, this area over here and over here is going to be terraformed. It's going to, I'm actually going to build a small village down here, much like the one Vladtastic had built. I also got rid of my AFK fish farm. I did leave my stables or my corral over here for my 2 skeleton horses. And yeah, I like it. I hope you noticed in the last of the end clip that I buried glowstone underneath these bushes over here to light up the path as we're walking on. Give it a little bit of an extra zing, a little extra pop to it. Still not sure about the diorite slabs up here. I might change these out to smooth quartz so that it matches the road and matches the path. I can get regular quartz blocks for my villagers pretty cheap, and all I have to do is smelt them in a furnace to make smooth quartz. With the stonemason saw, I can easily make slabs out of it at next to no cost to me, and yeah, it saves a lot of mining in the nether. So we are running out of time, but I do have one last thing to show you guys. Are you ready for it? Yes, I've changed my skin. I am no longer Biker Big Bad Vlad. I am now Vladman. The superhero the server never wanted or needed. Yes, it is I, Vladman. So let me show you what I came up for my costume here. I think you guys will get a kick out of this. I'm not the hero the server wanted. I'm not even the hero the server needed, but it is I, Vladman, the Darkish Knight. And that is going to be it for this episode of Vladtastic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please, please, please subscribe and smack that like button like your girlfriend's backside. Yeah, next episode, I hope to start working on a roof here, maybe even start working on the wall outside. And one of the things I'd really, really like to do is get with some of the other crafters like Droid and Phil and TPS, Mr. Quisling, and even Van Vladtastic, if I can find him on, and start touring some of their builds. So stay tuned, and hopefully we will be able to feature those crafters in future videos. Until next time, see you around.